Just a reminder for you to let your children know that today is a beginning of what is known as Holy Week. It commemorates the Christian belief in the triumphant entry of Jesus to Jerusalem. The crowd laid palm branches in his path. Thursday is leading on Thursday, it led to his arrest. And then on Friday, Good Friday, he was crucified. Uh, Remember, hope is not a plan, but a validation of our faith in the resurrection and our eternal salvation as Christians. So as you move forward this week, please make your children know that Jesus came on that day, this Sunday, to celebrate the Jewish Passover, and was on Thursday of this week was arrested, and on Friday was crucified. So with that, we will now share with you the Sunday morning message from Dr. Howard Thurman. Good Sunday morning. This is Randy LaFall from Randy's Rant with the Summer Sunday Moment. I do apologize for not having a Sunday moment last week. There were other matters that were pressing that required my attention. Let's get right to the point. This morning's Sunday reading once again comes from Dr. Howard Thurman's book of readings, Meditation of the Heart. And this morning we'll be hearing reading 13 on page 79. The ability to know what is right thing to do in a given circumstance is a sheer gift of God. The element of gift is inherent in the process of decision. Perhaps gift is the wrong word. It is a quality of genius or immediate inspiration. The process is very simple and perhaps it's elemental. First, we weigh all of the possible alternatives. We examine them carefully, weighing this and weighing that. There's always an abundance of advice available, some of it technical, some of it out of full orbit generosity of those who love us and wish us well. Each bit of this has to be weighed and measured in the light of the end sought. This means that the crucial consideration is to know what is the desirable end and what is that I most want to see happen if the conditions were ideal or if my desire were completely fulfilled. That is the question. Once this end is clearly visualized, then it is possible to have a sense of direction with reference to the decision that must be made. If it becomes clear that the ideal cannot be realized, it follows that such a pursuit has to be relinquished. This relinquishment is always difficult because the mind, the spirit, the body desires all focused upon the ideal end. Every person thinks that it is his peculiar destiny to have the ideal come true for him. The result is that with one's mind, the ideal possibility is abandoned, but emotionally it is difficult to give up. Thus the conflict. The resources of one's personality cannot be marshaled. A man finds that he cannot work wholeheartedly for the achievable or possible ends because he can not give up the inner demand for the ideal end. Oftentimes, precious months or years pass with no solution in evidence because there's ever the hope that the ideal end may, in some miraculous manner, come to pass. Then the time for action does not come at last. There comes a moment when something has to be done. One can no longer postpone the decision. The definite act involves an otherwise intolerable situation. Once the decision is made, the die is cast. Is my decision right or wrong, wish or foolish? At the moment, I may be unable to answer the question. For what is right is the light of present set of facts may not be able to stand up under the scrutiny of unfolding days. I may not have appraised the facts properly. My decision may have been largely influenced by my desire, which were at work at the very center of my conscious process. In the face of all the uncertainties that surround any decision, the wise man acts in the light of his best judgment, illumined by the integrity of his profoundest spiritual insights. Then the rest is in the hands of the future and in the mind of God. The possibility of error, of profound and terrible error, is at once the height and the depth of man's freedom. For this God be praised. This morning I read to you from the book Meditations of the Heart by Dr. Howard Thurman. I continue to encourage those who may listen to get this book and read it on your own. Maybe you won't need the Sunday moment or even have to deal with me, because this is a very special book. Dr. Thurman is very weighty and obviously an intellectual theologian. But if you just take time in most of his readings and process through, this morning was a bit wordy, I thought, but still there was substance and essence in what he was trying to say about each man having to make his own decision. And this will be more and more clear as the months approach in terms of the political trials that are going on, or not political trials, but the trials involving a politician, and also the decision about our own personal health as we move into this year, are decisions that most of us in my age range have to make some, concerned decision about. Nevertheless, I just thank you this morning for being able to listen to the Sunday moment, and we will return next week, and I do apologize for last week. This is Randy LaFall with Randy's Rant. Thank you.
In this space, may we all find solace, inspiration, and perhaps a touch closer to the light that beckons within. This is Sunday Moments. Join us as we embark on a spiritual exploration, guided by the luminous words of Dr. Howard Thurman and the insightful voice. This podcast aims to be a compass, a guiding light as we navigate the often murky waters of existence. Here we will celebrate the triumphs of the Spirit, delve into the shadows of doubt, and ultimately emerge a little closer to the understanding the grand orchestra of life's purpose. So settle in, dear listener. Let the worries of the week melt away and allow yourself to be enveloped by the transformative power of Dr. Thurman's words, masterfully interpreted